Hi, I'm Jane, a psychic medium, storyteller, and nomadic adventurer. After nearly 2 decades climbing the corporate ladder, I lost my job and found my calling instead. Now I'm setting out on my first solo journey in my truck camper, turning inward on a spiritual pilgrimage across the American landscape. Join me as I deepen my psychic path, grow my business, and discover what it truly means to follow spirit on the road and within. This is Psychic Nomad Adventures. Let's explore the road to self, spirit, and the soul of the earth together. All right, so what am I doing and how did I get here? Well, I'm Jane Garrity, and I have been on my spiritual awakening journey, my psychic awakening journey, my trauma healing journey for a good 3 years now. So I'm still pretty young at it, okay? So 3 years I've been really doing the work. And where I am today, I'm recording this on October 28th. I am basically beginning to live a lifelong dream of mine. Maybe it wasn't lifelong. Okay, maybe it's only been like 5 or 6 years long dream of mine. So I'll look at my energy, look at what I just did, because I was like, oh, it hasn't been that lifelong. So really, I am going to be taking a solo nomadic trip. It wasn't an easy place for me to get to pull the trigger on this. So I don't know how long it's been. It's definitely been quite a few years when I really had felt compelled, some people who know me, my hiking journey and backpacking, which kind of fizzled out. As I became older and hit menopause, I just didn't like being really uncomfortable anymore. I mean, I was already uncomfortable as it was. Sleeping in a tent in the cold is not. So looking back, it's like I really can't remember like the first time that I had a spark. And the other thing that I'm going to be talking about a lot is my human design type is a manifesting generator. So I really want to document how I've manifested all of this, along with what healing had to happen, simultaneously as this is all playing out, the karmic cycles that I've been breaking, along with my husband. That also, all these things like had to happen, right, for this trip to happen right now. And there's been little things along the way. I just manifested a new truck. You'll see that some point in here too, and I'm sharing with you exactly how I did it, what I had to do, the process, the communication from spirit, all of those things, because spirit is always communicating with us. And I, being a Gemini, I specialize in language and communication. And the other thing is, like, I want to share with you how, like, all the things that had to happen to now being launched into the life of my dreams. And all my manifestations, like, they're happening and I feel it and I can see it, and it's like just trying to stay present. And so I thought, you know what a better way to vlog this trip by just sharing why I'm on it and who I am and what I've done and the my story that I've shared so far. At some point, I remember, especially like shortly after, like when my husband and I first met in 2019, really getting into camping, and I'm like, gosh, I'd love a van life, the concept of living life on the road, but also like just being able to adventure and explore and see things that I want to go see that I've never seen. And my mentality, like what I think about and I've thought this way for quite some time now, much before, way before my awakening process, is I had the thought, even in high school, I remember having the thought that, like, hey, you know, if this was my last time incarnating on this earth, what do I want to do with it? How do I want to spend it? What are the places that I want to go? What do I want to see? And now, fast forward to awakening my psychic mediumship and my clairvoyance and clairaudience, and just fully psychically awakening. And through this process over the past 3 years, it's like now my dream is coming true, where I have this opportunity, a gift, divine timing. This is destiny, like soul path, and I truly, like I see, and it's you have the certainty in that inner knowing. It's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so even though we know that, it can still take us a while to get to the point where we're ready to head that direction. And that's right where I'm at. Like, I have known with absolute certainty that I'm supposed to be nomading, sharing my story, sharing my psychic collective readings with the community, the awakening community, so that they can find healing within themselves. Like, just sharing and communicate, being a psychic medium and sharing with my clients, you know, connecting my clients to themselves, like, because that's what it is. It's reconnection to us. And I've reached this point in my journey that I've been wanting to get to for like 2 years. And now I'm finally here, and it hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of, you know, mine and my husband's relationship, it hasn't been easy, right? We both have major abandonment wounds that we're trying to heal ourselves, and then with each other, and then other types of childhood trauma having to do with violence, right? And then the normal trauma of societal and conditioning, and, you know, all the normal stuff. And so it's been hard on us too, but we've been learning, you know. So with each, what seems to me being like a tipping point, and the tipping points always happen after eclipse season. So, and I know there's so many of you are going to be like, yes, I know, it's relatable. It happens. That's the part of being a collective. And so we are part of the energy of the collective, right? So, learning all that stuff and the reality of two people bonded together in the beginning by karma, that have now reached a point where we are 6 years in and reached our tipping point, and now have mastered, I wouldn't say mastered, we have discovered a path and a solution that doesn't involve our old patterns. So when I look at that energy, when I look at it, it's like I see the band of karma. We broke it, like, because we're doing things differently, and we're each breaking cycles within ourselves, which then breaks the cycles within the karma of the relationships. So we had to go through what we went through, and it got to the point where these last 2 years have been, for me, you know, a whirlwind, since, you know, getting laid off, being denied unemployment, and unable to find work, while also kind of doing this, right? Because knowing, and that manifesting generator in me, I see something, so like wanting to be a social media star, a TikTok star, like, wow, how fun would that be? And getting to this point where it's just like, it's time for me to step into that dream. So this is how it works. Actually being psychic. Yes, I've known that's what I'm supposed to do. Yes, I've known. Yep, I've seen it so many times. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And it's always in the truck camper being a digital nomad, working on my content creation, which is sharing my readings for the collective. So yeah, I've known within my affinity, my heart space, my fourth chakra, that this is exactly what I'm supposed to do. But I always didn't know what capacity. And then it's like when you think about, you know, the changes that my husband and I have done on ourselves and with each other, and we're in counseling and really working to understand more of our own trauma because it's deep, as well as each other's, I think has been the key to allowing us to reconnect. But then there's this one thing, right? Jane's not chasing her dreams. Jane's not chasing her dreams. She's not living her truth. So here I am, planning my first solo nomadic trip, which is kind of turning into a spiritual pilgrimage of sorts for myself. I'm following my ancestors' call. I'm learning so much more psychically about land, fae, all their responsibilities and what they do here for us. Learning from my ancestors on my paternal grandmother's side, going way back to indigenous times, about our stewardship with the land. I'm gonna vlog this trip and my spiritual journey along the way, my psychic journey along the way. I'm gonna continue my TikTok and Insta and YouTube shorts of my cards for the collective. I hope to go live and I'll also, you know, record my collective readings for everybody, and work on filling my calendar, my booking calendar, to have my clients like have a full calendar. And I have a few sacred times a week where I set aside time for, you know, my psychic readings for my clients. So, oh, there's a bunny. Do you want to see the bunny? Oh my God, the bunny's coming. You know what that's a sign for, right? The bunnies. Fertile times ahead. It's freaking fall here in Colorado. Everything's, hi, bunny. When we first moved here, there was bunnies living under the deck out back. The dogs have since made them go find other homes, of course. And we see bunnies all the time, but this is the first time since we moved here that one has come to say hi. And when you get that acknowledgement, by the way, that's animal spirit speaking to us. To me, so just this, everything, all of this is a sign and a synchronicity, because I want to share how I'm healing myself, as well as messages from spirit and from divine, because I know how important it is when you're beginning this journey and you're really trying to navigate that truth and, you know, everything between what's really true and, you know, what's been a lie for our lives and the trauma that we're healing. And it's a lot. It's heavy shit. And so I'm like, if I just share exactly what I do, maybe somebody else can just kind of take it and develop their own way to do it for themselves. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, that I'm gonna do the best I can with that. So give me a support, give me a subscribe and a follow, and let me know what you want to hear too. You know, like, I'm gonna be on this journey, and what are your questions? You know, do you want me to go live on YouTube so that we can have live Q&A? Like, I don't know. And what I mean by that is, you know, you can ask me how my journey's going. What are the things I'm learning so far? I don't know. You can ask me. I won't do readings over live, but you can ask me anything about my psychic journey. How do I see things? What is it like? How do you see dead people? How do you connect with spirits and ghosts? And how do you connect with fae and angels? Yeah, ask me, because man, no matter what fucking shit has happened in my life, I am so grateful because I have had quite an amazing experience. And now it's like, all right, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it. What more can I experience? What more? There's more. We're not done. We came here for a reason. What's people get confused about their sole purpose, like they're supposed to be, a millionaire in this lifetime. And no, your sole purpose is, what are you healing in this lifetime? That's what our purpose is. What are we healing in this lifetime? Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna do the best I can to communicate everything with y'all, as well as build my calendar. I'm gonna keep doing my collective readings and daily tarot pulls, and I'm gonna do some deeper dives with some of my other oracles, and talk to you a little bit more about that and how, like, universal language, angel numbers and numerology, tarot, other oracles, how other psychics develop those tools. And it's a tool. Those are languages, symbolic, like the symbols, the signs, animal spirit, like everything has a meaning. So we are the universe. We are the universe. All of us, like, we are. So when there's those shifts and transit in the universe, that's why we have to flow with them, or there's a lot of chaos or whatever. So why didn't you tell me I had something there? Be sure to tune in next time when I tell you exactly how I manifested this exact truck into my reality. Please subscribe and follow for more.